In April of 2020, Ikoria's Timeless Wisdom pre-constructed commander deck introduced this card, Dockside Extortionist, into the format. Instantly recognized as both powerful and relevant to just about any deck in its color, the card became an instant staple, and its price shot up to match. And thus today, a little over 2 years later, Dockside Extortionist is selling for about $74.95 each. If ever there were a commander card in need of a reprint, this certainly is one of them, and lucky for us, Commander Legends 2, a commander-focused set of 361 cards and cultivated for the commander format, is about to be released. Unfortunately, despite taking place in a dockside setting, Dockside Extortionist is not in Commander Legends 2. Neither are a lot of other critically needed Commander reprints, but before I touch on those, what's so unfortunate about the lack of Dockside Extortionist being reprinted here is that literally less than 1 month ago, count them, 5 Commander pre-constructed decks were released, and despite being set in a world of criminals and extortionists, Dockside was not reprinted in any of the New Capenna pre-constructed decks either. In fact, despite being a staple, Dockside Extortionist has never once been reprinted. And what is so troublesome about this is that in those years, 30 Commander pre-constructed decks have been made and sold. 30! And that is not including the Secret Lair Commander deck, nor, of course, the 62, and yes, I double-checked that number, 62 Secret Lair drops we have had since then, not to mention the Masters set and a plethora of other supplemental products. Now, it is completely possible, though highly unlikely, that Dockside will be included in one of the Commander Legends 2 pre-constructed decks, as it has currently only been ruled out of being in the main Commander Legends 2 set. But even if it is somehow reprinted there, and I highly, highly doubt it will be, this video isn't about Dockside Extortionist. This is just one card currently in the conversation, but it is indicative of the reality that while Wizards of the Coast has greatly increased its reprint products, its pre-constructed sets, its Masters series, its Secret Lairs, that it is still avoiding, perhaps willfully, actually using all of this product to actually strategically and effectively reprint Magic the Gathering cards. It has to change. The way we think about reprints has to change. Let's start with those 30 Commander decks that were released over a 2-year period. You might be thinking that I should wait until the 4 Commander Legends 2 Commander decks are fully previewed, but I actually think now is a great time to talk about this because I know what's going to be in them. Or rather, I know what's not going to be in them. Dockside Extortionist will not be in any of the 4 Commander decks. No, I don't know this for a fact, and maybe it will be, but I don't think so, because it is a very high-value reprint, and those don't tend to ever be in Commander precons. The argument is that if you put a Dockside Extortionist in a Commander precon, then that precon sells off the shelf, is only available at an extreme markup, and players and customers end up unhappy. But I'd argue that the reason for this phenomenon is not that Dockside is printed in one of the Commander precons, but rather that the other 3 have an imbalance of reprints and value in them. Put, for example, a Fierce Guardianship in another precon, a Jeweled Lotus in another. Balance the value of reprints, and no one deck will be overwhelmingly more valuable than the others. Speaking of Fierce Guardianship, I feel confident that will not be in any of the Commander Legends precons either. This is another example of a $60 card that, interestingly, was in the first batch of Ikoria Commander decks, has been reprinted 0 times in all those pre-constructed products, and here in Commander Legends 2 appears to be completely missing. But it's not just high-end reprints. Let's name off Commander Staples cards that are considered to be mainstays of the format and ask yourself, if Commander Legends 2 and Commander Legends 2 pre-constructed Commander decks are not the place to reprint these, then where is? Cyclonic Rift, a $35 card, has only been in one Commander precon product, and that was back in 2014. Demonic Tutor, a card literally only played in Commander as it is not legal anywhere else. It's banned even in Legacy. Surely this Commander card has been included in Commander decks over the years? The Commander Legends sets? No, it's been in 0 of these. Never reprinted in a Commander product, and amazingly, that includes Commander Collection Black. If not there, then where? Rhystic Study, Smothering Tithe, Teferi's Protection. Again, none of these cards have ever been reprinted in a Commander precon, or a Commander Legends Commander set. Of all these cards I've listed, only a few have even been included in a Masters set. Secret Layers, Rhystic Studies was in Jumpstart for some reason. Not that I'm complaining about that, but if we're going to shift to making Commander precons with literally every set, again, 30 in a 2-year period, if we are going to make recurring products such as Commander collections and indeed entire sets around Commander, Commander Legends, then isn't this the place that reprints such as these should go? Last time I'm going to say it, but if not here, then where? Meanwhile, cards like Dismal Backwater have appeared in half a decade's worth of Commander precons. That's right, we've literally had half a decade of Dismal Backwater Commander reprints. Commander 2016, Commander 2017, Commander 2018, Zendikar Rising. It was even in Eternal Masters. Dismal Backwater was an Eternal Masters reprint. In contrast, Adarkar Wastes has appeared in 0 Commander precons in the entirety of the product's run. 0. It has never been in a Commander Legends set, nor a single Masters reprint set. Azorius Locket, though, has been in not just 1, but 2 Commander sets, while Talisman of Progress has been in 0. But that's nothing compared to the 3 years worth of Commander precons that have had Azorius Guildgate in them. That one was even reprinted in Modern Masters 2017. I could go on, but the point I'm trying to make is that when pre-constructed Commander decks were a once-a-year event, the emphasis and the interest was almost always on new, designed for Commander cards, with reprints being a nice bonus when welcome. The place for reprints was expected to be in Master sets, and while that did not work out, the intent was still there. But that intent, that thesis, needs to change. If we are going to shift from 5 Commander decks per year to an average of about 15, not to mention the introduction of premium Commander decks, secret layer Commander decks, the old philosophy of these products being a place to introduce original designs for Commander must grow. It must acknowledge that with the explosion of interest in Commander, there is an explosion of need for Commander reprints. And with Commander products coming out so frequently, there must be a conscious effort to include both staple Commander cards, as well as those that are skyrocketing in cost in these products, so as to keep accessibility of the format up and the cost down. It should not cost more or even the same to build a Commander deck than a Modern deck, and yet most Commander deck costs now exceed $1,000, even when looking at non-foil, non-premium versions of cards. Why? Well, because you keep reprinting Dismal Backwater and Azorius Guildgate and Dimir Locket, but not cards like Adarkar Wastes, which is in the $15 to $20 range for just one card because it's not being reprinted. Pristine Talisman, same thing. So then you've got 2 cards in the $35 to $40 range just to get 2 out of 100. And that is not me talking about cards like Mana Vault or Jeweled Lotus, because those cards don't need to be in every deck. In fact, I think cards like Mana Vault are not the problem. But hey, tutors are demonic, vampiric, enlightened, worldly. A recognition must be made towards the difference between non-essential chase cards like Mana Vault, absolutely a great card to be in the high-end value mythic of sets like Commander Legends, but basic staple cards that every deck, or again, nearly every deck needs, well, they need to become auto-included for reprinting in this deluge of Commander product. I am often asked, what do you care? Why are you so frustrated that Wizards of the Coast is releasing so much product? No one is forcing me to buy it after all, so if you don't want it, just ignore it. Who cares how many secret layers they make when the majority of your own reviews on them are simply, if you like it, buy it, if you don't, don't. Well, hey, that is indeed true. To a point. But I still want to play this game, and when an entire product line such as Secret Layers is created with the stated thesis of being able to directly offer needed reprints to consumers, and then fails to take the very reasonable steps that could have been done, things like providing reprints of cards like dockside to the player base, that's where the frustration comes from. I'm not so much frustrated that these products exist, but I'm frustrated because they can be so much better. They can do so much more. Can't put a dockside in a Commander precon because it'll get scalped off the shelves and resold at quadruple the price? No problem. Stick it in a secret layer with Rhystic Study and Smothering Tithe, put cool artwork on it, and sell it for $29.99. Hey, that'll drop prices, increase access, sell and make money for the company. Everybody wins. Can't reprint cards like the Allied Pain lands and Battle Bond lands and Akuria Commander cycle of cards like Fierce Guardianship in standard sets or even in master sets? No problem. With 15 Commander precons per year and Commander collections, you can reprint those cards frequently and in products 100% relevant to them. This is the problem, and this is what has to change. This new plethora of product has been significantly less geared towards reprinting game pieces and overwhelmingly oriented towards creating what are collector's pieces first and foremost. New treatments, collectible art, collectible frames, new foiling method after new foiling method. But Magic the Gathering is still a game first and a collectible second, and people need to be able to play it. My mantra on this channel has been reprints, reprints, reprints for nearly 9 years now. But the way reprints are being managed, and given that Commander is just a casual format between friends, my mantra is being forced, absolutely forced by the company to change to proxies, proxies, proxies. The way we think of reprints has to change. The places for these cards exist. The products for these cards exist. They are coming at us on a near weekly basis. We must make a shift in philosophy lest the most casual and most popular format of the game becomes so expensive that players are simply priced out of participating in it. Now I want to hear from you. What do you think about the cost of Magic the Gathering cards, especially in relationship to Commander and especially in relationship to the way that cards are reprinted for Commander? Do you think that Commander precons serve as a great ground for reprints, or is there more that they can do? Are you worried that if they put cards like Dockside Extortionist in a Commander precon that it'll just be scalped off the shelves? Let me know in the comments below. And remember, when you do buy Magic the Gathering products, whether it's Commander Legends 2 precons, Baldur's Gate Electric Boogaloo, or New Capenna. Do you remember New Capenna? Seems like so long ago. Well, when it is possible, when it's reasonable to do so, try and spend that money at your local game store. You'll be helping your Magic the Gathering community. Oh, goddamn. You'll be helping your Magic the Gathering community when you do. Help but feel you didn't rightfully earn your position.
How dare you? I lied about my past, placed sinister hexes on my competition, threatened the hiring committee, and vowed to exact revenge on this plane if I didn't get the tenured position.
Yeah, I know, that's all very standard stuff in academia. There's still something off about this. I can't put my finger on it, but you don't just go from villainess to necromancer to tenured professor.
Look, just sign off on my review or I'm going to turn your bones into a thick purple soup.
Jeez, all right, here you go. Here, signed. I gotta say, I really prefer Classic Lily.
What do you mean, Classic Lily?
I'll show you. I've got her calling card right here.
I told you to never call me again.
Huh. I can see why she's a fan favorite.